Hello, everybody. This is Corey Funk for Funk's Film Reviews, and I am doing a top 15 actually. And this is top 15 best. I'm going to do best supporting actor, best supporting actress, best actor, and best actress. And these are what I call Oscar nomination snubs. And I'm doing one for each year, and I'm switching one nomination out for another nomination on what I would have put in place of a certain nomination. Now, and these are just my opinions. You don't have to agree with me at all, Like it's just, but these are just what I would put, and I'll tell you what they are. My number 15. We go back to the year 2006, and this is a strange case. Although I do like the movie The Departed, which was my second favorite film of 2006 after Pan's Labyrinth. The five nominees are Alan Arkin, which won that year for Little Miss Sunshine, Jackie Earle Haley for Little Children, Djimon Hounsou for Blood Diamond, Eddie Murphy for Dreamgirls, and Mark Wahlberg for The Departed. And I would take out Mark Wahlberg for The Departed, although he did really good in that, but I'm just saying what I would take out, and I would put another role from The Departed. I would put Jack Nicholson from The Departed in that over Mark Wahlberg. I just like Frank Costello as a character better. I love Jack Nicholson, and he is my choice of who I would pit over Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg did good, but I have to take one out, and I'm going to take out Mark Wahlberg from The Departed and put Jack Nicholson from the same movie, The Departed, as my choice for. So it would be, if I made the choice, it would be Alan Arkin, Little Miss Sunshine, Jackie Earle Haley for Little Children, Djimon Hounsou for Blood Diamond, Eddie Murphy for Dreamgirls, and Jack Nicholson would have been the nominations if I was. I might change another one, but those are what I would change. That's Jack Nicholson. And 1992 is the nominees are for Best Supporting Actor is Jay Davidson for The Crying Game, Gene Hackman, which won for Unforgiven, Jack Nicholson in this one for A Few Good Men, Al Pacino for Glengarry Glen Ross, and David Paymer for Mr. Saturday Night. Now, I wasn't a big fan of Mr. Saturday Night. I don't mind David Paymer as an actor, but I would take out, and this is one of the weird, strange cases, I would actually put in an animated feature film character, which has never happened, but I always thought that Robin Williams should have been nominated for Best Supporting Actor for the movie Aladdin. And I don't get why animated films don't get nominations. If they don't put them in there, then make categories for Best Actor in an Animated Motion Capture Film and Best Actress in it. Put those categories, but I would put Robin Williams. That would be, because Robin Williams also won a Golden Globe especially for that. And with the amount of voice imitations he's did for that, he did so good in Aladdin. So Aladdin would be my choice for Best Supporting Actor. Robin Williams would be my choice for Best Supporting Actor. It would be Jay Davidson, The Crying Game, Gene Hackman, Unforgiven, Jack Nicholson, A Few Good Men, Al Pacino, Glengarry Glen Ross, and Robin Williams for Aladdin. Now, going all the way back to 1979, the nominees are Melvyn Douglas, which won the Oscar for a movie called Being There, Robert Duvall for Apocalypse Now, Frederick Forrest for The Rose, Justin Henry for Kramer versus Kramer, Mickey Rooney for Black Stallion, and I would take out the 8-year-old Justin Henry, and actually Melvyn Douglas didn't show up because this guy was 8 years old, Justin Henry playing in Kramer versus Kramer. I would take his performance out of Best Supporting Actor, and I would put in Marlon Brando for Apocalypse Now. So Apocalypse Now is my favorite film from 1979. It's actually my favorite film of the 70s. And yeah, I would put 1979, I would change Justin Henry and put Marlon Brando for Apocalypse Now. Now going back to 2005. The nominees, which won, this one won George Clooney for Syriana, Matt Dillon for Crash, Paul Giamatti for Cinderella Man, Jake Gyllenhaal for Brokeback Mountain, and William Hurt for A History of Violence. Now, I like the movie A History of Violence, but his character was only on the thing for like 8 minutes and just kind of disappeared, and I don't like when 8-minute nominations get nominated. I do think supporting needs less time than the lead, but I think a cameo should never get a nomination for that. So I would take out William Hurt. Good cameo performance and all that, but I would take William Hurt out, and I would put Mickey Rourke in for Sin City. That's what I would put in for 2005 for Best Supporting Actor nominations, is Mickey Rourke for Sin City, which Sin City is actually my favorite film of 2005. I'm going back to 1987. Now, 1987, the nominees are Albert Brooks for Broadcast News, Sean Connery, which won the Oscar for The Untouchables, Morgan Freeman for Street Smart, Vincent Gardenia for Moonstruck, and Denzel Washington for Cry of Freedom. Now, I would take out Vincent Gardenia for Moonstruck. I wasn't too big on that movie, and I would put in Arlie Ermey, who played the drill sergeant in Full Metal Jacket. Full Metal Jacket would get my Best Supporting Actor nomination in that category over Vincent Gardenia for Moonstruck. So that is my choice for Best Supporting Actor, is Arlie Ermey for Full Metal Jacket, which he did amazing in that performance. Now going to number 10. And the nominees, I'm going back to the year, got an itch. Going back to the year 1989. And the nominees are Danny Aiello for Do the Right Thing, Dan Aykroyd for Driving Miss Daly, Marlon Brando for A Dry White Season, Martin Landau for Crimes and Misdemeanors, Denzel Washington, which won Best Supporting Actor that year for the movie Glory, and I would take out Dan Aykroyd for Driving Miss Daisy. I know a lot of people love that. I wasn't a big fan of that movie. I would take out Dan Aykroyd for Driving Miss Daisy. And I would put in James Earl Jones for Field of Dreams. That should have got a Best Supporting Actor nomination. Which Field of Dreams was my second favorite film of 1989 next to Dead Poets Society. Now, going back to 1995, the nominees are James Cromwell for the movie Babe, Ed Harris for Apollo 13, Brad Pitt for 12 Monkeys, Tim Roth for Rob Roy, Kevin Spacey for Usual Suspects, and I would take out Ed Harris for Apollo 13, and I would put in Patrick McGoohan, who played Edward Longshanks in Braveheart. He would get my Best Supporting Actor nomination in that category. I loved his performance in that. He was a very villainous role. And yeah, so Patrick McGoohan would take over Ed Harris for Apollo 13. Apollo 13 is a good movie, but I didn't think he deserved a nomination for that. But it's just me. 1991. And now we're on 1991. We're on, the nominees are Tommy Lee Jones for JFK, Harvey Keitel for Bugsy, Ben Kingsley for Bugsy, Michael Lerner for Barton Fink, and Jack Palance for City Slickers. And I would change the Ben Kingsley performance, although in the movie Bugsy, and I would put in Ted Levine, who played Buffalo Bill on Silence of the Lambs. That movie was creepy. His performance was creepy and eerie, and he did such a good job playing Buffalo Bill, the serial killer, that I think it's blasphemy that he wasn't. Just my opinion, though, that I think Ted Levine should have been nominated for Best Supporting Actor over Ben Kingsley that year. Kingsley deserves a lot of his nominations, it just so happens he's the weaker man out on that particular year for me. Now, going back to 2007, the nominees for Best Supporting Actor are Casey Affleck for The Assassination of Jesse James by the Coward Robert Ford, Javier Bardem for No Country for Old Men, which won that year for Best Supporting Actor, Philip Seymour Hoffman in Charlie Wilson's War, Hal Holbrook for Into the Wild, and Tom Wilkinson for Michael Clayton. Now, I would take out Casey Affleck in this performance, because I just thought he was the weaker of the bunch. And I would put Paul Dano for There Will Be Blood playing Eli, who I don't get how he was totally ignored all season. He did such a good job in There Will Be Blood, and There Will Be Blood would be my choice over Casey Affleck for Best Supporting Actor that year. Now, going back to 1998, the nominees are James Coburn for Affliction, which also won Best Supporting Actor that year, Robert Duvall for Civil Action, Ed Harris for The Truman Show, he actually deserves to still be in this category. I didn't think Apollo 13, but this one, he deserves to be in there. Jeffrey Rush for Shakespeare in Love. Billy Bob Thornton for A Simple Plan. And I would take out Jeffrey Rush for Shakespeare in Love, and I would put in John Goodman as Walter in The Big Lebowski. He did phenomenal in that role. I do not get how John Goodman to this day still has not gotten an Academy Award nomination, and I think the first nomination he should have gotten was in 1998's film The Big Lebowski. I think he should have been nominated for that performance. And now, going on to 1999. 1999, the nominations are Michael Caine for Cider House Rules. Michael Clarke, which Cider House Rules won, but I'm going to tell you something. I do like Michael Caine. It won his second Oscar, but I personally think that he shouldn't have been nominated. I think all the other 4 nominations are better performances than Michael Caine in this particular year. So that's who I'd switch out already. And then after Michael Caine, Michael Clarke Duncan for The Green Mile, which would be my choice of who should have won. Tom Cruise for Magnolia. Jude Law for The Talented Mr. Ripley. And Haley Joel Osment for The Sixth Sense. And the movie I would put in Best Supporting Actor of that year is if the movie Boys Don't Cry, where he played John Lauder, and what he did, he was a very villainous role. Peter Sarsgaard, who I thought did phenomenal in Boys Don't Cry. And he, my opinion, should have got the Best Supporting Actor nomination over Michael Caine, the one that actually won. But again, it's my opinion. You don't have to agree, blah, blah, blah. But yes, Peter Sarsgaard would have been my choice for Best Supporting Actor nomination over Michael Caine. And now we're going to 2021, which is a newer one. The nominees are Kieran Hines for Belfast, Troy Kotsur for Coda, Jesse Plemons for The Power of the Dog, J.K. Simmons for Being the Ricardos, and Cody Smith-McPhee for Power of the Dog. And I would take out J.K. Simmons for Being the Ricardos, and I would put in Bradley Cooper for Licorice Pizza. He did such a good job in that film that there's actually, when we go to Best Actor, there's a lot of times where I think Bradley Cooper, where I might have took him out of certain categories. But in this case, I would have put Bradley Cooper in for his performance in Licorice Pizza, which was my favorite film of 2021. And so, yeah, so that would be, now I'm going all the way back to 1978. And the nominees are Bruce Dern for Coming Home, Richard Farnsworth for Comes a Horseman, John Hurt for Midnight Express, Christopher Walken, which won the Academy Award that year for The Deer Hunter. Well-deserved Oscar, by the way. And Deer Hunter was actually my second favorite film of 1978, and that won Best Picture. And Jack Warden for Heaven Can Wait. Now, I would take out Jack Warden, and I would go to pick my favorite film of that year, and the guy that played the doctor in the movie Halloween, Donald Pleasance, would be my choice for Best Supporting. Yes, I'm picking a horror movie character. I would pick Donald Pleasance in the spot where Jack Warden is for Heaven Can Wait, and that would be my choice for Best Supporting Actor nomination that got totally looked over. Now, my number 2, I'm already at number 2. I'm going to 2017. And the nominees are Willem Dafoe for The Florida Project, Woody Harrelson for 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Richard Jenkins for The Shape of Water, Christopher Plummer for All the Money in the World, and Sam Rockwell, which won that Oscar, for the movie 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Now, I would take out Richard Jenkins for The Shape of Water, which, I don't know, it was an okay movie. I would give it a mild thumbs up, but it wasn't one of my favorites. So I would take out Richard Jenkins, and I would put in Patrick Stewart for Logan. Now, that interpretation of an aging Professor X in the movie Logan, yes, I'm putting a superhero / Western. The movie Logan was my favorite film of that year. So, yes, the movie Logan, Patrick Stewart would have gotten an Academy Award nomination if I was in charge over Richard Jenkins in The Shape of Water. Now, my number 1 Best Supporting Actor nomination snub. And it actually got nominated at the Golden Globes, and is probably one of my favorite performances of a supporting actor nominee. And the nominees are Kenneth Branagh for My Week with Marilyn, Jonah Hill for Moneyball, Nick Nolte for Warrior, which actually with what was nominated that year, that's actually the one I would have wanted to win for what was nominated, because he did such a good. Christopher Plummer in Beginners, which won Best Supporting Actor that year. Max von Sydow for Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. I wasn't a big fan of this movie. I do like Max von Sydow, but he doesn't deserve this nomination, in my opinion. And I would put in Albert Brooks for Drive, which was my favorite film of the 2010s decade. I absolutely love Drive. You probably heard my view. And Drive is in my top 15 movies of all time. I think Drive, Nicholas Winding Refn, you did an amazing job in such an amazing film. And Albert Brooks was my number one Academy Award nomination snub, which I think should have been nominated. It's what I think should have been nominated. Albert Brooks for Drive. So yes, those are all my Academy Award nomination snubs of what I would change and switch over. Thank you very much. My name is Corey Funk. This has been Funk's Film Reviews. You have yourself a good one. Bye.